What was that? Like, what actually was that? Who was she? Because it wasn't me. I actually really like that section. It literally makes me go, I hate when that happens. I like that bit too. Oh, what a shame. Sorry, I actually hate how I said that line. Now I'm acting. Wow, it's a Thursday, which means I post a video. Hello, how are you doing? I hope you're well. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Emma and I make acting related videos on YouTube. Today is a little bit different, I guess, to some of my other videos, but I kind of wanted to compare a couple of performances I did at an acting class I went to last month. So if you watched my last video, you'll already know that I went to an intensive acting weekend course with the Working Actors Studio in London, and it was really, really, really good. Like, I would really recommend it. And as part of the course, at the end, you get to film one of the scenes you've been working on a professional camera, so you could then use it for a show reel or for whatever else you want to share your performance on. So on my channel, I often share my monologues or performances I've worked on, and you'll only get to see like the final one, the one that's my favourite, that has probably no mistakes in it or is just what I would argue is my best scene. And coming away from this course, of the two scenes I got, I actually didn't really love either of them. Like, there's moments in both where I was like, oh, like I wish I could have done it again. But I wanted to talk about it because I wanted to show that like I'm not ever trying to claim that I'm like the perfect actor. I obviously think that I'm a good actor, but I'm always trying to get better, and that's the point of going to these classes and also watching yourself back and seeing what you can do differently, because you just always want to improve and always want to get better. So before I hop into explaining what the scenes actually were, I just wanted to quickly remind you that if you haven't already subscribed, because quite a big percentage of people who watch my videos are not subscribed, and it might be you. So just a little reminder that if you do like my videos and you want to see more of me, or behind the scenes of acting jobs, what I get up to looking for work, monologues, short filmy type things and self-written pieces, anything like that, then please make sure you subscribe. And that's enough self-promo for one video, so okay, we're moving on. Over the weekend, we did 4 different scenes from different shows and films and stuff, and the scene I ended up liking the most was actually from Peaky Blinders. Please do not kill me when I say I have not watched Peaky Blinders. It's been on my list for a really long time. I've just literally not gotten around to watching it. I don't know why. I played the role of Polly. And I'm just going to start with a side note here. Obviously that is weird because she's literally like a 45-year-old woman and I'm here like 25 and usually play characters younger than that. So it's not like realistic. I wouldn't actually get cast as Polly, which I think is actually cool because it does make it more of a challenge trying to play a character or be a character that you quite literally couldn't be. Basically, in the scene, Tommy Thomas Shelby has gotten into a bit of trouble and Polly's kind of like trying to help him out. I would also like to say I did not do a Brummie accent. I can do a lot of accents. Like, I'm actually good at accents, but Birmingham is not one of them. So I didn't try, did not bother doing that. So as I said, we got to film a scene on a professional camera and I ended up doing 2 different versions. The first version was a bit more raw, truthful to me, connected, kind of using all of the techniques that we'd been learning on the course about being really truthful and that making your performance a better performance. And then I did one version which was slightly higher intensity, more energy, which was maybe more suitable for the scene, but you know, then it became a question of, am I still being connected? Am I still being authentic? Is this how I would do it? So without further ado, let's actually hop in. I'm gonna put my glasses on and watch the monologues. Hope you enjoy.
I have 10 minutes. What do you want?
An explanation.
An explanation of what?
Of what's so secret. I've always been able to tell.
Tell what?
When you're hiding something. People around here talk. Some of them work at the BSA. I've been talking to the wives of factory hands. Detectives have been asking questions around the proofing shop. Nothing happens around here without you knowing about it. Speak. God and Aunt Polly are listening. Okay, so obviously there was a little line mess up there, a little stutter, which literally makes me go, I hate when that happens because it's so obvious. I will commend myself. I think I started quite connected and it felt like, you know, I was really there. But then because you're like in it, the second there's a little, it's like, oh, you've broken it. You've broken the acting magic, you know, like you broke the spell. And I think brought it back. I think I gained back some intensity.
It was meant to be a routine. They picked up the wrong fucking crate.
What was in the crate?
Inside the crate, we found 25 Lewis machine guns with 10,000 rounds of ammunition, 50 semi-automatic rifles, 200 pistols with ammo, all bound for Libya, all sitting right there in Charlie Strong's yard.
Jesus, Tommy, tell me you threw them in the cut.
We moved the crate to the stables out of the rain. The guns hadn't been greased yet.
So that's why the copper came from Belfast.
Maybe. Maybe not.
I actually really like that section. I think that's my favourite section of this whole piece. I haven't actually watched the scene, so maybe we should compare to the real scene at the end. Okay, we'll see. Thomas Shelby, you're a bookmaker, a robber and a fighting man, but you are not a fool. You sell those guns to anyone that has use for them and you'll hang. That's the bit I was meant to pause at, actually. I like that bit too. Dump them somewhere the police can find them. Maybe when they see they haven't fallen in the wrong hands, it will all blow over. Tell Charlie to dump them tonight.
He won't move contraband under a full moon. 3 days until it wanes.
And then you'll do the right thing. You have your mother's common sense and your father's devilment. See them fighting. Let your mother win. There was another line mess up. I hate that. It literally just goes like, oh, what a shame. But overall, I think the performance was good. There was definitely that chunk I really liked in the middle, but some line mess ups, you know. I won't say it was my best. So let's watch the second scene and kind of see the difference.
I have 10 minutes. What do you want?
An explanation.
An explanation of what?
Of what's so secret. I've always been able to tell.
Tell what?
When you're hiding something. People around here talk. Some of them work at the BSA. I've been talking to the wives of factory hands. Detectives have been asking questions in the proofing shop. Nothing happens around here without you knowing about it. Speak. God and Aunt Polly are listening. So already off the bat, we can see that she has upped the bloody stakes. Yeah, like, I don't hate this bit. It does have a slight more feeling of like, I'm an actor doing angry acting. But not too much, like it's just a twinge. You can tell she's angry and I think that's more of an interesting start to the scene, personally.
It was meant to be routine. They picked up the wrong fucking crate.
What was in the crate? Sorry, I actually hate how I said that line. I just think that was not nice. That tone is wrong. I think you can tell she's trying to get to the point, but like the tone just feels weird there. What was in the crate? What was in the crate? Like, chill out, babe. Like, he's going to tell you, but also, like, imagine coming into that a bit more like, what was in the crate? You know, a bit more like, I've got the power here, actually.
Inside the crate, we found 25 Lewis machine guns with 10,000 rounds of ammunition, 50 semi-automatic rifles, 200 pistols with ammo, all bound for Libya, all sitting right there in Charlie Strong's yard.
Jesus Christ, Tommy, tell me you threw them in the cut. I like the anger on the end of that bit. Like, the intensity feels real. But Girlie accidentally started shaking her head too soon. Like, you wouldn't be there going... I think what happened was I was, like, really feeling it and I was, like, in the moment. I was, like, really listening to him. But then because of that, I kind of forgot how many things he's going to list off before it is actually my turn to speak. And I don't know, it just makes me giggle every time I see it when my head just starts going... Like, the shaking of the head, it's like, we get it. So maybe that was a bit too much, but the way I delivered the line, I actually really liked.
We moved the crate to the stables out of the rain. The guns hadn't been greased yet.
So that is why the coppers came from Belfast?
Maybe.
Again, that's the same sort of thing where I feel like I was in it for a moment and then you can see in the next bit, I snap out of it again. I don't like how I said that line. I think that is really weird. So that is why they sent the copper from Belfast. Like, no one talks like that. There's such weird intonation and it ends up just coming out a bit weird. And that does sometimes happen. Like, sometimes you do or say things, especially when you're acting, and then afterwards you're like, what was that? Like, what actually was that? Who was she? Because it wasn't me. So that is why the copper came from Belfast. Like, chill out, babe. Again, it's that moment of just like, you've just done a nice bit of acting and then, boom, now I'm acting. You know, it's like, let's calm down.
Maybe not.
Thomas Shelby. You are a bookmaker, a robber, and a fighting man, but you are not a fool. You sell those guns to somebody who has use for them and you'll hang. Dump them somewhere the police can find them. Maybe when they see they haven't fallen in the wrong hands, this will all blow over. Tell Charlie to dump them tonight. So mixed feelings on this chunk. I feel like there's certain bits that I like the intensity. The kind of thinking between plans felt a bit too, again, acty. That kind of looking around like, what shall I tell him to do? What's the plan? I think she could have been a bit cooler with that. Like, taken a minute to be like, you know, you sell those, you'll hang. And then kind of have this moment of like, well, what the fuck's he gonna do? And then she kind of goes, do this. Rather than, okay, what can he do? Do you know what I mean? I don't think she would be an open panicker. The ending and that kind of intensity of going, like, tell him to dump them tonight, I felt like that felt strong. Like, I'd listen to her.
He went with contraband under a full moon. 3 days until it wanes.
And then you'll do the right thing. You have your mother's common sense and your father's devilment. See them fighting. Let your mother win. I definitely prefer the ending of this one. I think the ending of the first one felt a bit rushed for me. I don't know, I don't necessarily love the kind of more aggression on it, but I definitely felt like I'd slowed down to say the words and it felt a bit nicer. Yeah, mixed feelings on that. I think actually, and weirdly, I thought I would prefer version 1 because version 1 was the one that Lee was like, that was your best one, like, you were the most connected, blah, blah, blah. And obviously I trust his opinion, he's a really amazing director. But just on a personal level, I just feel like I enjoyed watching the second one more. There were definitely more fuck-ups in the second one in terms of, like, tone and doing too much, like, I'm an actor. But I definitely felt like the energy was nicer and the moments that were good, I felt were better than the good moments in number 1. And also the line mess-ups in number 1. So let's compare myself to Helen McRoy, who was obviously an incredible actress and obviously did an amazing job at it. So let's really do some damage to my ego.
I have 10 minutes. What do you want?
An explanation. Always been able to tell when you're hiding something. People around here talk. Some of them work at the BSA. I've been talking to the wives of factory hands. Detectives have been asking questions in the proofing shops. Nothing happens in that factory without you knowing about it. Speak. God and Aunt Polly are listening.
Okay, off the bat, she's a bit more powerful than what I had going on, I think. I think the setup of the scene is really cool. She's like sat in front of him. I literally have never watched this, by the way. Like, I didn't watch it before going to class because I wanted to go in with my own, what I would do. So this is really funny to me. The pacing is already a lot more building that tension because she leaves that massive pause before she actually answers him. And then she's like really slow and deliberate with her delivery and she only turns towards him towards the end and it's just like, oh, she's got that kind of status thing going on.
It was meant to be routine. I had a bar in London for some motorcycles.
This accent is wild as well, by the way, can I just say, because obviously in my head I think Brummie like what it is now, but this is obviously like old school Brummie because this is set, what was it, set in like the 20s or something? Sorry, people are like, yeah, Emma, are you living under a rock? We've all watched Peaky Blinders. Yeah. Okay, sorry, let me just be in awe of the fun accents.
10,000 rounds of ammunition. 50 semi-automatic rifles. 200 pistols with shells.
Jesus, Tommy.
All bound for Libya. Sitting right there in Charlie Strong's yard.
Tell me you threw them in the cut.
Okay, so actually something I'm noticing is the script we had was slightly different, the order of lines. This bit specifically, when she says, Jesus, Tommy, that feels more natural to me the way that the writing is here, where she cuts him in and then he finishes a little bit more and then she says, tell me you threw them in the cut. Feels a bit more natural than kind of what I ended up doing, the weird kind of not shaking my head thing.
We put him in the stables out of the rain. The guns hadn't been greased yet.
So that's why they sent a copper from Belfast.
Maybe.
We didn't do that part. It has still got that same kind of like quieter intensity because it is set in a church, so I guess that does make sense, and I guess that's something I can say that I also did.
Maybe not.
Thomas, you're a bookmaker, a robber, a fighting man. You're not a fool. You sell those guns to anyone who has use to them. You will hang. Dump them somewhere the police can find them.
That bit where I was like, it felt weird in my performance where I started looking around. Someone walks past and that creates a distraction. She has to stop talking. And in that time when she stopped talking, she's thinking. And then he's gone so she can say it. But it's funny seeing how when we do it ourselves and like take the script ourselves and do it in a way for acting class, how it can make such a difference just in terms of like the order you say things or the things that happen during the scene with other, someone just walking past and things like that. So it makes a difference.
Maybe if they know they haven't fallen into the wrong hands, this might blow over. Tell Charlie to dump them tonight.
No. He won't move contraband under a full moon. 3 days until it wanes.
Then you'll do the right thing. You have your mother's common sense, but your father's devilment. See them fighting. Let your mother win.
So that's interesting the way it ends, because I kind of thought it was a bit more like the way I read the script, I just felt like it was more intense. Whereas she's a bit more like sassy, on board. She's like, you know what? Let your mum win for a change, all right? Like, and then the music obviously helps with that. But yeah, definitely very different to how I did mine. But I guess that's just part of the fun of giving it a go. So yeah, that's it for today's video. Basically, I just wanted to share that. I'm really analytical about watching myself back because I always want to get better and better and better. A little bit of a self-roast towards the end there, but I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure you subscribe, like, comment. Let me know which version of mine was your favourite. Obviously the real Peaky Blinders one wins, so let's just like exclude that from the competition. Out of the first 2 versions I shared, let me know which one you like the best. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video next Thursday.